Yeah? The thing is about real time is that there's only now. Yeah? So this feeling when something happens or you're here, yeah? There is an arising of the mental state in the here. Yeah? In the here. Not observing the here, in the here. And when it arises, it uses this as its touchstone, and it implies that that this activity of seeing, which isn't an activity, it's natural, yeah? See, awareness isn't in the activity of being aware. It's aware, yeah? It's not in an activity. It's aware. So the mental process arises in the seeing, and then the interest and attention that could be like this, that has been saddled into a very small conduit, is funneled into this idea of you, yeah? And the touchstone is the body. This is what's remembered as you, yeah? So when you're sitting here with your eyes closed, you're not seeing the body, but there's a remembrance of the body, yeah? And then the remembrance of the body is presupposed to imply you were here in time before, in like a minute ago, 5 minutes ago, 8 years ago, yeah? And then there's also an assumption you'll be here in time after you get up and go to Chibo's. You see? It happens. You're like here. The mental state arises, but when it arises, it says it's already arisen, you see? The historical feeling like it's already arisen, so you don't see it arising, you think it's here, yeah? In other words, the guest isn't seen as a guest, you see it as the tenant. It comes and knocks, you answer the door, as soon as you answer the door, it's like it's been living there for years. Yeah? This happens that fast. But in the real time, it's an activity that's happening in what's always active, which means it's not an activity. So you can see it from here. So you can see the guest before it's called the master. Yeah? You can see the guest before it's called the host. You can see it. It's an activity. Yeah? You're seeing it. The activity goes on. Now you have Punch and Judy, like a policeman uniform and a burglar, and you're changing roles. Yeah? Here. Oh, I got it. I understood it. Oh, I've lost it. This is that. Yeah? But it doesn't happen here. It always happens before the camera, not after the camera. Because you're after the camera. None of that's happening. It's happening it's happening in us, yeah? And then suddenly everything is seen as happening to us because the body idea becomes the center of a false story. It's a false reference. Now everything is seen from here, from time, from yesterday and tomorrow, and that's blindness. That's an incredible blindness because your eyes are wide open, so you don't think you're blind. But you're incredibly blind because you don't even know what's looking is what you're looking for. You know, you want to know what's looking, but as a topic to what the you that's been looking for what's looking. That's all the studying and the knowledge and understanding. You are what's looking, not the you that's looking for. When the you that's looking for is negated, that's what's looking. So what's looking is what the you is looking for. That's the beautiful, because if the you is looking for it, it will never look for it again because the you will be negated and you'll be what's looking. And then the you will be looking for shit it can find finally. Like fucking pairs of pants, and it's car keys, and a kiss, or a latte, or a tofu pie, and they'll have great success. because he can find those things. But he'll stop looking for what's looking. And he'll stop driving himself or herself fucking crazy, trying to find what can't be found. And maybe when it gets exhausted, you'll find out you are what you've been looking for. Try it. See how it runs. We've had so many of these Saturdays, yet they're a unique event every time. I could be going to Chibo eternally, you know. This could be an eternal loop of going to Chibo's. I've had thousands of different people, but I'm there at Chibo's, seemingly, for fucking years. I like the coffee. It works. I used to always be surprised how people could live in a temple for 70 years. Because hopefully they had alive minds. They could do the same walk and it'd be new every fucking time. Just like I've walked for years behind the Mill Valley Library. It's not that long of a hike, but I've hiked it thousands of times because it's new every freaking time. You have new visitors, woodpeckers show up, this happens, people walking dogs. It's new constantly. Same terrain, similar, different seasons, but why would I want to drive 5 hours to convince myself I went to nature? I can drive 5 minutes and be in nature. Why do I have to make a 4-day epic? I can take an hour. It's more than enough. Why do I need evidence that I've done something? Not if you're being, you don't need fucking evidence. It's maybe even better not to leave much of a footprint, because you don't have to clean up the mess. You can travel lighter. So, yeah. All right, let's end with, hey, we have new t-shirts. Where's these two people, lovely people, are representing Zenbitchslap? It's one of my old originals. Men's and women's, very nice, very light, a lighter cotton, so it's much nicer for climate change. It's very good for climate change.
Do you want it on the recording?
It's very good for climate change. It's going to get hotter. So these are much lighter cotton. And we have the books. And